It's been a while. It's been a while. I was making videos consistently and uploading videos uh, on YouTube and Instagram and all my other social media platforms because I was doing it consistently. And I was making videos two to about one or two videos a week. But then something tragic happened. Um, I don't remember what the other stuff was that was going on during that time. But on October 10th, 2021, one of my best friends died, and his name was Vaughn Cornelia. So if you tune into my YouTube channel at all, and if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel or ever heard me talk on my social media platforms, and especially if you're very faithful to doing that, this close friend of mine, Vaughn Cornelia, I talk about him a lot, and I definitely talk about him a lot with my family, with friends growing up from high school and middle school, and yeah, it's a tragedy. Like today was just one of those days when you lose somebody, it's hard. So I can only imagine how the family feels and how his daughter will feel in the future. But yeah, I just want to do something in Vaughn's memory on his page that I hope everybody keeps on doing. Because during his funeral, we kept on everybody kept on saying that Vaughn was a very what's the word that everybody kept on using? Very unconventional. That was the word. Everybody kept on saying Von's very unconventional. He's unpredictable. That's what I told his mom. I said that you could never predict or guess what Von was gonna do next, and that's just the type of person he was. So, yeah. So during the funeral was very unconventional, just like Vaughn. So during the funeral, everybody just told how they just share some memories that they had with Vaughn, what they remembered of Vaughn, just share some stories to just brighten up the mood and just to remember Vaughn the way that we got to experience him. And yeah, man, it's just such a blessing to even have gotten as close as I did with Vaughn. So yeah, let's get into it, man. So I already know some people are probably asked before I even say anything. Let's make sure that we're giving donations. So I'm about to share my screen. Uh, so Miss Joan and the family they started a donation for Sophia, Vaughn's daughter. So let's make sure we give donations to them. And yeah, you can find it on her Facebook page and on Vaughn's Facebook page. Vaughn Cornelia right here. Just keep on scrolling down until you see the GoFundMe right here. But yeah, that's the link right here. So yeah, let's make sure we keep on giving donations to the family and to Vaughn's daughter. I think she's 6 or 7 now. But anyways, yeah, today's just one of those days. It's a very difficult day, and the Bible said that we should mourn with those who mourn. We should weep with those who weep. We should uh, bear the burdens of each other. So we should just be there for one another, right? So during this time, I hope that everybody just shares some memories and stuff on Vaughn's page, like I'm doing, like I said. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to it, man. So, uh, who am I? So I've been knowing Vaughn since I was 12 years old. So it surprises me, Cordarius, just in case Cordarius sees this video, it surprises me that Cordarius he knew Vaughn the same amount of time I did. I always thought Cordarius knew Vaughn way longer than I did because how close they were. So I always kind of like was jealous of how close Vaughn and Cordarius, just their dynamic and the relationship that they had with each other because they goofed around and played around and partied with each other and all that stuff. But yeah, I didn't really get to get have that kind of relationship with Vaughn. We were just Vaughn came to me when he was ready to be serious. So Vaughn would always Vaughn would always just like want to talk about the Bible with me. I love to get Vaughn one on one because the thing is with Vaughn, if you know anything about him, he would always uh, it's just I really don't know if I should tell y'all this, but I'm gonna just be transparent because that's how Vaughn is. He's very honest and transparent, and he's very blunt. He'll tell you stuff just how it is, and that's just how he was. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. If I remember what I was trying to say, but yeah, like if you're playing basketball with him, you're playing football with him, you're doing sports with him. and you're doing it in public, he'll turn on you real quick, and not just will he turn on you, uh, he'll try to make a fool out of you. He'll try to embarrass you. He'll try to he'll basically just try to do his best against you to make you look stupid in front of everybody. And then after the fact, he'll apologize for making you look so stupid and everything. And you're like, dude, how can you turn on me in that instance and stuff like that? But anyways, yeah, I've been knowing Vaughn since I was 12 years old. 12 years old. I went to high school and middle school with him. We played basketball. We ran track together and played football together. And we also lived in the same neighborhood. So even though we did sports, and together. We also did sports, when we were home together as well. So we were playing basketball every day. I remember in sixth grade, uh, we when we first moved to Mount Juliet, we both sucked at basketball. So yeah, we used to go up to the court, and none of the older players, none of the older kids would pick us to play pickup games with them whenever they were at the court, and they were always at the court. They stayed at the court. So in order for us to be able to get the opportunity to play, we would have to just you have to be good enough. And so me and Vaughn, we both vowed to each other that we're going to keep on coming to the basketball court. We're going to keep on playing basketball every single day, day and night, and we were going to get really good and so good that we're going to be the first pick. Like you're not going to want to play with anybody else but us, right? So that was the promise we made each other. Just make sure we keep on going to the courts, playing basketball, hooping, and just working on our game. So that next year, after sixth grade and seventh grade, we both started touching rim. So we both were really close to dunking. And the thing was, we eventually started dunking a little bit. Like we could dunk with a dodgeball, but then when it came to actual basketball, we couldn't palm a basketball. So we would try to dunk, but we'll get hung. So basically, that means you'll run up to the rim, you'll get up, and everybody thinks you're about to dunk, and then you just hit the ball on the rim instead because you can't get it over because you can't palm it or anything. But that's what would happen to us. So yeah, it used to be funny because during basketball games, sometimes like literally during a basketball game, when we know we can't dunk at all, we're close though. We would try to do it in game. We both would get hung on a fast break, and that was yeah. But yeah, a lot of people. That's what I told Vaughn's family. Like a lot of people consider Vaughn a best friend, and I would put him in that boat for me. Like Vaughn is definitely a best friend, and like when you get to know who Vaughn was, like and you got the opportunity to be close with him, like he was such a big figure at my high school and middle school. So like let me tell you about Vaughn real quick. Vaughn was such a big entity. Like he was just bigger than life. Like he was so big that people idolize him. Like first thing need to know about Vaughn is let me show some pictures while I talk about him. First thing need to know about Vaughn is that all the girls wanted him and all the guys wanted to be him. And that's what you need to know about Vaughn Cornelia. So yeah, this is him right here. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen on all my other social media platforms. I can't share it on my Instagram, but yeah, that's him back in high school, man, like a grown man. But yeah, this is him right here, just so people on Instagram can see it. But yeah, like he was just so much bigger than life. Like football wise, he was the star football player at our school. So every time you went to a football game, all you heard was touchdown, Vaughn Cornelia. Vaughn Cornelia for a touchdown. Like that's all you ever heard. Yeah, this is his parents right here, his mom and his stepfather. But anyways, yeah. So when it came to Vaughn, he was such this big figure that you thought like you couldn't talk to him. He was too big. Like he had an attitude. Like he was the star. Like he got all the girls. So like, um, yeah, this is a girl. This is his daughter right here. But yeah, you just thought that you just thought that you wouldn't be able to talk to him, and he wasn't. He was just gonna think that he was too good for you, or something like that. But he was never like that. He was always humble and nice, and my mom always called him a gentleman. Like he's a nice gentleman, and so yeah, that's him when he was younger as well. But anyways, what else you need to know about Vaughn? Oh yeah, that's him with his shirt off. I probably shouldn't have showed that. Yeah, that's him right here. Trying to find a good picture. That's his daughter again. Him playing football. But anyways, all right. while I try to look for a picture, let's just keep on talking. Somebody said something really interesting. They told a really nice story of who Vaughn was, and I just want to share it with you guys. I don't know if I should have asked for his approval for doing this, but this is what he said. He basically said that this guy, he was a receiver on a football team at our high school, and he was real small playing on the football team. But honestly, the only person who's going to get the ball on our team was Vaughn. If anybody's going to get the ball, it's always going to be Vaughn, right? And so Vaughn again was this big old star on the football team, bigger than life, right? So, and let me just tell you about Vaughn too. When it came to football, like he yeah, he's gonna get 3 catches in a game. Just 3, because we didn't pass the ball. But he's gonna have at least 101 yards. So he got that yak yards all the time, yards after catch. You can't tackle him. He's too big. He's 6'5", and he's around 250. And then also he had about 2 touchdowns a game on average, 2 touchdowns. So that was Vaughn, just with football. I didn't even mention track and basketball, right? So like, yeah, this guy said that he had a bad day at practice one day, and he felt so bad that it was just probably the worst day of practice he ever had for fall camp in 2010. And so then he said he went to McDonald's after practice just to sit down alone, and then Vaughn came to sit with him to talk with him and just to make him feel better. So he gave him a little advice, but then also he tried to just help him to shake off what happened, right? And so he said this was, and then he said the next day that Vaughn uh, took him, and then he uh, he took him after practice, and they practiced together, and he showed him all the just the stuff that he needed to know as a receiver. So about route running, blocking, stuff like that. So he gave him all the intricacies of the game. And so afterwards, Jacob said, this was a small thing to do, but it meant a lot to him. Because first of all, again, Vaughn is bigger than life. He was so unconventional. He was so unpredictable that you could never put him in a box. You can never predict what he's gonna do. Like he was a really nice guy, and I will say he bullied some people. I'm not gonna like lie. In school, he could, and because that's what I'm saying. Like I was trying to say earlier, like if he could push you over the edge, he will. If he can get in your head, he will. Because especially sports wise, again, you're trying to sports wise, it's 10% physical and 90% mental. So that's the game with sports, right? And that's what Vaughn used to do. So yeah, man, that story really touched me because, like, yeah, this guy, and it touched him too, because I mean, it happened to him. But yeah, Vaughn literally took a person on the team that really doesn't have a shot at being playing time or anything, and he took out time to show them the game. And that's how Vaughn was. Like I remember back in 6th grade, 7th grade, and starting off in high school, I always thought I was ugly. I even been told I was ugly. And Vaughn told me at the basketball court. I still remember like it was yesterday. Like he was like, "Man, I wish I was you." I was like, "What? You wish you were me, dude? You're Vaughn Cornelia, man. Like everybody loves you. Everybody wants you. All the girls want you. All the guys want to be you. Like you're crazy." And because Vaughn always thought so highly of me. I don't know why he always thought so highly of me when I think so highly of him. Everybody thinks so highly of him. And so, like, that's the thing, guys. That's what I want you to understand. Like, at my high school, there's only in middle school, you only fall in 2 ballparks with Vaughn because he's so real, he's so authentic. You either hate him or you love him. There's no in between, right? Because the people who love him, the people that were at his funeral, they're real, they're transparent, they're authentic, like they're not fake, they're not fickle. These people they can see the worst, even though people are awful or what you see on a surface level, they don't pay attention to that. They try to see the heart, see where people really stand. They don't judge people off appearance. You know what I mean? So everybody that was at his funeral and everybody that got close to Vaughn and got to know Vaughn, you have to be transparent. You had to be real. So I saw some people arguing on Vaughn's Facebook page when he passed away. I saw people arguing, saying like, "You ain't no Vaughn. Why you post this? Like, I was Vaughn's girlfriend. Who are you? You better be at his funeral." And I didn't see that person at the funeral, but they want to say, why, everybody else should be at the funeral. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, Vaughn again, he was unpredictable, unconventional. You couldn't. put a finger on what he was going to do or what he's going to say, right? Someone saying that, like, you didn't know Vaughn. He had a lot of close friends. A lot of people consider Vaughn a best friend, just from the simple fact of how he affected their lives and impacted their lives. And he wasn't just in just a person in somebody's life. Like Vaughn, again, was a big figure, like a big old figure at my school. He's basically Troy Bolton from High School Musical. If you ever seen High School Musical, he's the star of the school of the show. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to Vaughn, man, if he talked to you and he talked to you constantly, it wasn't just something you take lightly. You know, yeah, man. Like, man, we just grew up and did a lot together. Like, man, it's just so much to say. But I wanted to say that because so we shouldn't be condemned. We shouldn't be trying to compete as to who was closer to Vaughn, who knew Vaughn better. You know, because it doesn't matter. Like Vaughn affected a lot of lives behind closed doors that you don't know of. And I already know, for me, my experience with Vaughn, he does not give a lot of compliments and he don't say stuff out loud a lot to people. So he's not going to praise you a lot to people from my experience with him. Now he does it. It just depends if he gets to it, right? So you kind of got to be around him a lot to see and experience something like that, and be real in order to get it. If you're fake, you're not gonna get that side of Vaughn. So yeah. But anyways, one thing that touched me the most during the funeral, which I hope this helps everybody to share like we did during the funeral. At Vaughn's funeral, if you weren't there, we all just some people got the opportunity to say how much Vaughn meant to them. I didn't get to, so that's why I'm doing this right here. Because today was just a hard day, and I just got to share just how much Vaughn meant to me. Vaughn meant the world to me. Out of everybody in high school, he was my favorite. Like out of everybody in middle school, he was my favorite. Vaughn was the guy. You know, Everybody wanted to be Vaughn. Everybody wanted to hang out with Vaughn. That's the thing. I wanted to hang out and party with Vaughn, but I don't know what it was. Vaughn didn't want to party with me. Like he just didn't want to put me in that light. Like it sucked, but he was protecting me. But anyways, that's beside the point. But yeah, at the funeral, one thing that took just not only did people tell stories, but when we were at the burial and we were burying Vaughn, which burials suck and I hate. Burials are always the hardest for me. When it came to the burial, the pastor there who was about to say dust to dust, ashes, ashes, that guy, that's in front of the coffin. Um, he said he did something different that normally I haven't seen a pastor do. Right? He's told everybody right before they're about to, put flowers on the casket and bury Vaughn. He said, I do funerals every single day. People die every single day, and he said that man, it's tough to say. He said that I do it every day, so I see sometimes during the funeral I only see two people. Sometimes during the funeral I've seen none. Sometimes I see about 50 people. And then he said, but today, he said, as far as my eye can see, he said I can see cars just all the way back there. And he said that just shows how many lives this young man, not an old man, this young man, this 28-year-old man has affected. And that's the thing, guys. Like, look at this. Vaughn was born on April 21st, 1993. April 21st, 1993. One of the lies that people, how middle schoolers are. Like, man, I like how shows with kids and stuff be really depicting just stupid stuff kids say and like how high schoolers are, especially like when they really hit the nail on the head. Like back in middle school, when it came to Vaughn, I still remember when we played dodgeball during PE. All the boys were telling me, like, yeah, Vaughn, he failed a grade. Like, he's really older than us. Like just because Vaughn was so much bigger than us and stronger than us, like, and that's another thing too, guys. Vaughn had the biggest hands I've ever seen in my life. Like when I was looking at him in the casket, man, his hands were still big. I think they were bigger than what they were when we were in high school and middle school. And when I tell you his hands were big, so he played receiver. So I had to guard Vaughn a lot in football because I played cornerback and I played safety. And when I say I had to guard him, guys, he's 6'5", 250. I'm only 5'9" and 3/4, so 5'10". and back then I weighed 165 pounds. So like I ain't big. Like so going up against Vaughn, man, like I had to be at my best. Like, and that's the thing. I played him every single day. So this is why he had a field day during most games that he played because they didn't know what to do with Vaughn. Like you could study film all you want, but with Vaughn, you have to guard him. You have to see and go up against him every single day to really figure out how you're gonna guard this guy. That's how much film you if you study film, that's how you got to study film. You got to study film like you're actually playing them and like dissect and analyze like what you're gonna do against this person. And that's what I got to do every single day at practice at Mount Juliet against Vaughn. Like this again, people don't realize how fast Vaughn was. Vaughn his freshman year, I ran a 40 in. And it's because he way faster than that. I don't think he's just a 4.3, probably a 4.2. So when I say he runs a 4.3, guys, I mean like he'll burn you if you play corner. I'm sorry, I'm doing football terms, but this is for people that know sports now. He'll just burn you straight up. You try to run with him. Like, don't try to run with him. And just to show you how fast he was, he could do any event in track and beat you. Like Vaughn could do an event in track, not practice it. He never practiced a long jump and will come in second. He will never come less than second. Like that's how Vaughn was. So that was in track with no coaching, guys. Our track coaches were unathletic, never ran track in their lives. Some were fat, like the fattest people you've ever seen in life, trying to coach us, telling us to run. And so they didn't know what workouts to give us and stuff like that. But when it came to Vaughn, he was a natural athlete. So like football, yes, man. I'll talk about track in a minute, but football, like man, if you were guarding him, you got to guard him 8 yards back. You can't guard him man on man. He's too big. He gets his hand on you, bam, like he's gonna throw you around like a rag doll, like you're like literally like you're a little 5-year-old and holding you up in the air. Hey, little baby, and then throw you down. Like that's how he'll do you, man. So Vaughn, man, he's just so strong, so big. Like I used to hate when he blocked me when it was a run in football, but that's another story. And then also, yeah, like was track. Let me just talk about track real quick. So track, man, he could have went to the Olympics, man. He was an Olympian, but we didn't have that much knowledge when it came to track until I ran track in college. So like for Vaughn, man, first of all, he could have done a hecathlon, and I told him he could have done a hecathlon for the Olympics because he's naturally gifted at every event. And he did this without coaching. Like he would always come in first or second place in every event. He did the 100, the 4x1, 200, 2x1, so all the relays. So he did I said 200, 400. He did long jump, triple jump, high jump. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. But he did everything, guys, and he was good at it all. At it all. He didn't suck at one thing. And so, yeah, I got a lot of memories doing the high jump. And I wonder does his parents remember that at all? But like, yeah, with Vaughn, like he liked to look pretty, man. He liked to look good. So man, like he would always just deck himself out no matter what the sport was. So track, man, me and him would he would tell me what to wear and we had to match. So we do everything together. So like in track, long story short, you never really wear socks. You're not supposed to wear a lot of stuff, but we did because he wanted to look good. So we wore the longest white socks ever. Then we wore black socks on top of that, just so it could be stylish. And then we made sure we wore baggy pants because we didn't want to wear those track pants that went up to uh, nowhere. Just basically look like underwear. I don't like track pants like that. Like, and I'm talking about the ones from the '50s, guys, not like anything modern. And then, yeah, yeah, we wore shades. Yes, I still remember that. I don't think he wore. Yeah, I think he wore shades with me, but I wore shades. And yeah, we would joke around doing a high jump. Like we would just do the Superman over like the height starting off in high school was 5 foot, and yeah, like we would just play around with heights like that because we jumped so much higher than everybody else. It didn't get serious till about 6'2". That's when we both had to get. Well, for me, I had to get serious at 6'2". He had to get serious at 6. Oh, he got serious at 6'2". He should have got serious at 6'4". But anyways, um, yeah. So like at 5 foot, the height starting off in high school was 5 foot. So any height less than 6'2", we're playing around with it. We're just doing Superman over it. We're scissoring over it. Like we're making a spectacle of the event just to show everybody, like, hey man, we're about to really embarrass you. And this was for my sophomore and junior year of high school. And so Yeah, we would joke around, and then me joking around with Vaughn. That's the thing. Vaughn never took sports serious. Like some people think that he did, but not in high school and middle school. Like he was so much better than everybody that he didn't have to be serious. Like he could beat you without trying. And so that's how I was in high jump. Like I always come in second to him, and I hated it. Like, but I didn't really try because I was goofing around playing his game, you know. And so yeah, I had to get serious, man. So when I got saved my senior year of high school, and I tell people this story. I don't know if I shared it on my YouTube channel yet, but Vaughn knows the story very well. Like my senior year, I got saved, and I stopped playing games. Like I wasn't even gonna run track my senior year of high school, but God was like, "I want you to do it. I want to do some things." That's all he said. I want to show you some things. You got some things to learn, and you can only learn it through track. And so, long story short, I ended up doing track again in college for 2 years. But let's talk about freshman year of track. So, freshman year of track, when it came to the high jump, uh, I figured out that I was wasting my energy on lower heights, and I'm shorter than Vaughn, so I can't be waste. I'm gonna get tired doing jumping higher heights anyway, so I might as well just start off at whatever height I know I'm gonna clear, and then after that, just make sure that next height, like I gotta work for a little bit, but not really. But every other height, I got my best energy because I just started. If I jump at the lower heights, I'm exerting energy, and I used to scratch on 5'10", 6 foot just because I exerted so much energy and wasted it. So, and that's what God told me. Like literally, nobody told me that but God. And I was like, man, I'm gonna start off with 6 foot. So I started off with 6 foot. They asked me what height I was gonna start off with our first meet. I said 6 foot. And Vaughn, man, that was the first time he heard that. Like one advantage I had over Vaughn was I practiced the high jump every single day. Vaughn, he had to do distance workouts and stuff like that, and had to just running conditioning and stuff. My deal with the track coaches was if they wanted me to run track in high school, that I wasn't gonna run. Like you can't. My condition was if I run track, I'm just jumping. Don't make me run with everybody else. And they didn't. That was the deal. So yeah, I did not have to practice with everybody else. I barely practiced with everybody else. I barely ran. I just did the high jump, worked on my forms, my techniques every single day. So that was my advantage over Vaughn. And so first meet, I knew what I could do. I knew at 6 foot, I can do that blindfolded. I can do the Superman if I want over 6 foot. I can do the Soldier Boy, do Batman over, uh, crank that Batman over 6 foot. I can do whatever I want on 6 foot. So I knew that was the height to start off with. I told Vaughn, and Vaughn was like, man, that's stupid. Why would you start with 6 foot? 6 foot? He was like, man, you're crazy. He was like, you're not gonna get it. You're crazy. Whatever. That's just retarded. So that's what Vaughn thought. And so, funny story. Oh, yeah, this is hilarious. So Vaughn beat me every meet, guys. I want you guys to remember that. He beat me every meet until our senior year. Senior year was vengeance for me, and that was just God's will. Like I had nothing to do with it. I was just doing what God wanted me to do. So be serious. Don't do what Vaughn do. That's what he told me. And so 6 foot. And so Vaughn, he's playing around at these lower heights. He actually got out at 5'10". I think every meet he got out at like 5'10", maybe 6 foot when I was starting. But most of the time I started in high school, I would start doing I didn't start till 6 foot. So everybody was already out when I was about to jump in. And I jumped in my warm-ups because I didn't have a coach to tell me you don't jump in warm-ups. So because I ain't have coaching. He didn't either. So long story short, I eventually cleared 6'4", and it was at Brentwood. So it took me about probably 9 meets to do it, eight, something like that. And so Vaughn came up to me. Again, he's very unconventional, unpredictable. He came up to me and he said, Sean, I was like, what up, man? He was like, I'm proud of you. I was like, what? Like, you're proud of me? What are you talking about? And he said, Sean, he was like, I'm proud of who you're becoming. He's like, you used to let people get into your head. And this is what he's basically saying. And he essentially said, he said, you used to let people get in your head. You used to let people tell you what to do. You used to let me beat you. He said, but you stood up, put your foot down, and you just started doing what God told you to do. He said, keep on doing that, man. He's like, you deserve it. Like you clear 6'4", You you got the record for the highest height in Mount Juliet history. I don't think it's the highest. I heard somebody got 6'10" before. But anyways, yeah, but Vaughn gave me a compliment, man. Vaughn, he doesn't give compliments all the time. You got to catch him at the right time. So yeah, man, that stuck with me, like just that day. And yeah, man, that was Vaughn, guys. Like he didn't run track again that year. He quit. He figured out he didn't want to do it. But I'm telling you now, guys, when it comes to track and field, man, Vaughn, he's an Olympian. Like he would have went to the Olympics if he had coaching. Because in the 100, he ran about 9 seconds. In the 200, he ran about, I think he ran 23, 22. And then in the 400, he ran something 50. So 51, 50 for sure. But yeah, man, he was fast, man. Fast, man. And it's just just a natural athlete, man. But he was so much more than sports. Like I feel sad people who only got to know him through sports. And that's it. Like, because Vaughn was so much more than that. He was a great guy, man, loyal, he would have your back in a heartbeat, man. And he was very aggressive, man. I'm telling you now, man. If he would have, he was never serious in high school and middle school. I know when he got older, he was, and he saw his full potential with football. Um, and so let me tell you too, in football, guys, he played. We did something called platooning in high school. In high school, so that means you play one side of the ball. So they only had him at receiver, but whenever it was like 2-minute drill, we knew the other team was passing. They'll put Vaughn in at safety. Every time he went in at safety, every time, guys, he got a pick. So his whole college career, he got about 6 picks and then one forced fumble. And he only played safety like 6 times. And so this was Vaughn, guys. Just a natural born athlete. And so I know in arena football and professional football, not he didn't make it to the NFL, but any football after high school and college too at Savannah State, he played safety. So that says a lot because Vaughn was very aggressive, like not in a bad way, but like when it came to football wise, yes, he's really aggressive. He likes to hit. He can manhandle anybody. He was super strong, man. So there's no doubt in my mind he would have made it to the NFL. Hands down. Like he was supposed to be in the NFL. He was just like Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald. He's the same breed, like just that big of a receiver. And guys, I'm telling you now, I had to guard him every day. Like if he gets his hand on the ball, it's over with. Don't let you have to cheat against him if you guard him. Like you gotta push him, shove him, hit him in the balls even. Like you gotta make sure the ball don't touch his hands. Because if it touches his hand, even you put all your body weight. I used to hop on the ball with all my body weight. Like hop on it. So I'm hopping on his hand, like with all my body weight and with all my might trying to yank it out. You're not yanking it out. He'll pull you in with the ball. Like his hands are so big, you can't let his hands get on the ball. So yes, I was just pushing, shoving, everything, like being sneaky with it. Like that's how I learned how to be sneaky with it. Like you had to have a microscopic camera to see I was doing pass interference with him, and that's how you guard him in football. But yeah, man, like high school wise and middle school wise, man, Vaughn was just a big, big star, man. And like, man, I'm just so honored I got all these memories with him. Like I have a whole lot of memories with him. Whole lot of stories. Like he has a book, a Christian book that I read my senior year. Like when I before I got saved, I was just going through a phase in 2010 where I just wanted to know the Lord. Long story short, and so I read books. I just kept on reading and reading, learning and learning, and growing in faith and stuff like that. So Vaughn would say, like, yeah, let me get some books. He kept some of them. Like there was a book on hell I loved and he kept it. But yeah, like anybody who wants to say Vaughn wasn't saved, like he didn't know God, he was a bull. Like guys, see, that's how you know you don't know Vaughn. Like he loved the Lord, man. He loved God. He had a relationship with him, and that's what I love about him. He wasn't perfect, and he would own up to that. But like, man, he was just a great guy. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like, man. I just lost somebody I just really love, And like I told Miss Joan, I told his sister, Vaughn's sister, that I really wanted Vaughn to be in my wedding. Like I only talked to him a handful of times after high school. So we just had, and I just had in my mind like, yeah, man, we're gonna hang out a lot. Like, just give me. I was trying to get myself right first. He was trying to get himself right, and like, yeah, I just really wanted him to be in my wedding. I really wanted to do a bachelor party with him and finally get the party with Vaughn Cornelia. With Vaughn Cornelia, man. Cause like I said, man, you guys saw him, man. You saw him. Every guy wanted to be him. Every girl wanted him. He's the best looking guy ever, ever. But man, I can't wait to be with him in paradise, man. So yeah, man, I'm just honored, just cause guys, that's another thing I was gonna say. Like in life, we all, just lose somebody. You can lose your mom, your friends, your other family. And some people, you hear about somebody losing somebody dying, and it means nothing to you. You didn't know them, you weren't close to them. But other times when somebody dies, like you actually know them. You don't just have history with them, you got so many memories with them, and so many memories you wanted to build with that person still, but they're gone. So I'm just honored, and I thank the Lord that I got as close as I did with Vaughn. And I can't wait for paradise. I can't wait to just do the things there that we ain't get to do here, but even more so, you know? And so I just pray that, his daughter is gonna be doing great. I pray she ain't no getting in trouble nearly as much as Vaughn. Hopefully nowhere near like Vaughn. And that's another thing too. Vaughn used to get in trouble so much, guys. So much. I'm not exaggerating. He did put you know how in sports you have to do punishment in high school and college. You have to do punishment. So some physical activity to hurt your body and put your body in so much pain and shock. And your coaches would do that to you because you got in trouble. You did something bad, right? Vaughn would have to do that every single day. Every day Vaughn got in trouble. Every single day. It was never not a day that he wasn't in trouble. Even during games, he was in trouble. He did something. So he stayed doing the punishment. The coaches are stupid. Like if I was coaching Vaughn, I'll just do things differently. So the coaches will literally give him physical, like hot stoves, something physical to do because he got in trouble. And Vaughn, I would tell Vaughn, like, why do you keep on getting in trouble? Aren't you tired of just doing like stuff, like getting punished and having to do stuff physically? Because nobody, everybody else, that's like dreadful. Like, no, don't do anything but that. But with Vaughn, like, he was like, man, it's easy. He was like, I'm getting in shape. I'm running. So it's helping me and building my body up to where it needs to be. Because we don't get that during practice. So and then he said half of the drills that we do are stupid anyway. So why would I want to do it? So that was his logic when it came to punishment. Like just punish me. I'd rather do punishment than the stupid stuff you had me doing against practice. And I think that's because he ain't had no competition. He ain't going up against nobody. So just I'll be ready during game day. It ain't like y'all gonna kick me off the team or anything. Y'all need me, you know. And that's another thing too. He was never like that. Like he could have just been like, man, y'all need me. Y'all can't do it without me. He was never like that. And that's something else too, guys. Like every touchdown that he scored, he knew I wanted to play receiver. I feel like he only was so big because in 8th grade I stopped going to practice. And I was supposed to be the star player on the team. Like they're supposed to be giving me the ball. And I feel like in middle school, the way that Mount Juliet works is like if the high school coaches see you in middle school, they're gonna put you in that position, and they'll stick you to it, right? They won't waver from that point ever, right? Not my high school. The coaches weren't that good and smart. So, but yeah, with Vaughn, man, like, yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, there's so much more to say. There's so many memories I have with him. I don't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, I'm just thankful, guys. I really am. I'm gonna miss him, and yeah, I just pray that everybody else get to share their memories and stuff that they had with Vaughn. I didn't get to do it at the funeral, and it's probably best that I didn't because I probably would have been talking forever. I got so much to say about him, and I talk about him all the time on my YouTube channel, like the good and the bad, because he wasn't perfect. I loved him, still loved him. He loved me, so yeah, man. We love you, Vaughn. Fly high, number 9. I love that saying, man. Fly high, number 9. And until we meet again. Ain't that the song from Fast and Furious? Like they played that at his funeral when they were showing all the videos of uh, just all the memories we have of him playing football and stuff like that, and with his pictures with his family and stuff like that. And that just broke me up. I don't even like that song. Like whatever song that's that Fast and Furious song "Till We Meet Again" for Paul Walker. I know you know what I'm talking about. That song. So, but yeah, maybe tear up with Vaughn though. So, all right, guys. I don't care if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my videos or anything. This wasn't meant to be liked. All right, this is just I just had to share some stuff about my boy, Cornelia. So one of my devices is about to go out, so I got to end the video. And I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say, man. Like I really don't remember what I was gonna say. Like I was just talking, but yeah, let's just end it. I'll talk to you guys later. I got a lot more videos to do, and I'm back, guys. Yeah, probably just I was in a flow. I was in a flow, but we all grieve differently. Just kind of, I guess I had to grieve. So, but I'm back now. So I'll talk to you guys later, though. Peace out. Make sure to do a video for Vaughn, your memories of him, and make sure to donate to Sophie's Fund, the GoFundMe for the family for Vaughn's daughter. All right. Talk to you guys later. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.